properly, please. Thank you.
Stop getting
Feet off the benches. Sit up straight. Foot off the bench. Because I said so. Foot off the bench. Thank you. That's much better. Sit down. Sit down. Thank you. Remember, we are here at an entertainment complex. It requires a certain amount of tact and decorum. When we have people upon the stage performing, they demand your respect, or I shall smite you upon the head.
Sounds painful.
Which it must vex much vexes me to do so. Thank you.
Well said to me.
Stop it!
Get on with it.
I do not deserve that clapping. Thank you.
You don't
Yes,
yet.
that is true.
You hurry up.
We're here to be entertained.
Then get off the stage.
Come on.
It is now my great time. No, it's not my time.
You said that already.
It was my time earlier. It is now my privilege.
I do that again.
Oh dear, that was quite exciting.
It is now my honor and privilege to command each and every one of you to rise, all rise, in the presence of His Royal Majesty, King Henry VIII. Royal subjects, one and all, you may be seated.
He's so handsome, he looks great.
Thank you. I've been asked to say a few words. First of all, I would like to thank all of you who have been so supportive of the throne this weekend in what can only be described as difficult circumstances. From the heart of the King, thank you very, very much.
Fine job in
Thank you very much. I would like to call attention to this beautiful new hat that I'm wearing. It is a chapeau, which is French for chapeau. Also, I would like to say great mention has been made of my beautiful new pantalones. Everything in the coffers for them, which is the reason why your taxes now must be raised. It's all right, it's all right. Now, I hope everyone has enjoyed themselves. We have a sterling group of performers about to take the stage. I wish that you would give them your hands, give them your attention, and most of all, later give them your money. I forgot, you've already given me your money. Very well. So, as someone very famous once said, on with the show! Shut up.
Thanks, Dave.
It is now my unfelt privilege to present to you the Duchess of Spendelot.
Huzzah!
I know what everybody is thinking. I know I'm a naughty Duchess of Spendelot. I am, of course, Gabby! Everybody know Gabby. Majesty, it is with great pleasure that I share this information with you.
Yes.
We have many wonderful dignitaries visiting during our fair time, such as Prince Gwydion and Princess Brianna. But it is my job now to take the place of the Duchess of Spendelot to introduce two very special friends of the court, the Duchess of Somerset and the Duke of Calais, who shall entertain us with a musical selection. Let's keep it going for the Duke.
Ozzy, no.
You do know that the Duke is visiting here in England with me. He's very interesting company. Would you put the harp here, love, please? I thank you very most kindly. You see, he's visiting here, keeping me company, while my my husband is, shall we say, away on the
This Duke is famous.
As far as I'm concerned, that is a true statement.
Oh!
I should like to play a little bit on this instrument. This is an Irish harp, as you can see. And I should like to honor your majesty with one of your own compositions, which I should like to do first.
Not a better choice to be made.
Ooh.
One doesn't bury one's head, does one?
Indeed.
Indeed.
Indeed, milady.
And would you go and bring 12 of the most musical people to the stage? Would you do that, please? We have a chorus, and we want the most musical people here.
Oh, vraiment, je suis.
Beautiful ladies.
Thank you very much. I will come.
Come and stand. I should show you where to stand if you will stand here.
All about to this.
Happy with you on
Lovely. And would you come and join this lady here?
And more people.
I do need them here so they can see me. Very well. They're not even married. You don't have to worry about that. Would you
Dookie
a
and
few
those
more,
hats.
please? Ah, yes. And you have a very special.
The only picture because you had your laugh.
Very well done.
Oh, we are one. I can do that. It's a good part.
So John, you want me to put him back there with the metal helmet on?
I am.
Ooga, ooga, ooga.
They're speaking Lumpy. We're actually familiar with this one. Lumpy! Oh! Oh dear! How many did you want? Now you'll hear the
It's out of control.
Don't start yet.
Bavarian. going. Would you do for them what you to do?
Quack, quack, quack.
And you?
Ooga, ooga, ooga.
And you? Well done. This is going to be quite a show. Are we ready?
Yes.
Old Daddy Fox went out one night. He prayed to the moon to give him light. In many a mile for to travel that night before he'd reached his den. Oh, den, oh, den, oh. He'd many a mile for to travel that night before he'd reached his den. Oh. He grabbed a gray goose by the neck. He flung a duck across his back. He heeded not their
Quack, quack, quack.
and the legs all dangling down, oh, down, oh, down, oh. He heeded not their
Quack, quack, quack.
and the legs all dangling down, oh. Old Mrs. Flipper Flopper jumped out of bed. Out of the window she popped her head.
Pop,
Up, popcorn.
What is Mom?
Come on, sit. Will you do that again, please? Out of the window she popped her head.
pop.
Good. Oh, John, oh, the gray goose is gone. The fox is on the town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh. Oh, John, oh, the gray goose is gone. The fox is on the town. Oh. Now John went up to the top of the hill. He blew his horn both loud and shrill.
Ooga, ooga, ooga.
Come on, said Renard, with your music still. While I fly away to my den. Oh, den, oh, den, oh. Come on, said Renard, with your music still. While I fly away to my den. Oh. Now Daddy went home to his cubs and his wife. He carved up the goose without any knife. Wonder what he used. 'Tis the very best meal I've ever had in my life. The cubs can lick the bones, oh, bones, oh, bones, oh. The very best meal I've ever had in my life. The cubs can lick the bones, oh.
Big boy. Well, Ooga.
Ooga, ooga.
Very good.
And you said you were no music.
Oh, I'm not, but that was
How do you do all? I am Prince Charming.
Charming only in name.
Charming to what?
So I have nothing to do with that response.
You have nothing to do with him either.
It is my pleasure to be here on this day, for I am going to be introducing an act. But before, I feel that it is my duty to entertain whilst I am upon the stage, and therefore I should like to sing a song of Charming Land.
A charming song.
I shall need some accompaniment. Is a gook of
Gee.
Gee of
Giga, giga balle.
yes. Yes. It's a very old song, goes back many years in my family, and I'm very, very pleased to bring it to you at this time. And it goes something like this. My name is Charming, my ears are alarming. I'm looking for a lady who ain't into farming. I don't know nothing about no witches. I just got to get one to get to the riches. My daddy the king, he is an old fool. He's hanging out in the throne room acting like he's cool. He said to his son, to be the grand master, you got to find some squeeze before there is disaster. alter ego. It is my great pleasure this day, and it is always my great pleasure with so many beautiful ladies about, to bring out for your entertainment right now, Pandor, the storyteller. No song.
Now, I was told that the purpose of this today was so that all of you will know where I am and what I do, so that you can tell everyone where I am and what I do. So,
Where am you?
Where are you?
I'm in the Shorewood Forest, very near the amazing maze, in a big tent.
It is truly amazing.
You paid him well.
Exactly. As I shall demonstrate for you now, I shall get right to the story, for I have a short time. Once upon a time there was a king. He was brave, kind, noble, and true, and all of his subjects loved him. Don't you?
Yes.
Now he was rich, rich beyond all your wildest imaginings. Why, he was so rich. How rich was he? He was rich. He had everything in the world that you could possibly imagine, and a few things that you probably could not. Now, his most prized possession was a glass cupboard that sat opposite his throne room. Days, he would sit and stare at this wonderful work of glass. And this troubled his servants until they discovered that it was a magic cupboard. For when you opened it, you could draw out anything. Anything at all in the world that you could imagine. Yes, right. What good did it do the king, for he already had everything in the world that you can imagine? Well, he was fond of simple things. Perhaps he would reach in and draw out a long carved walking stick from faraway Africa and marvel at the wondrous carvings of lions and tigers and elephants upon it. Hours he would marvel at the stick. And when he was through, he would place it back in the cupboard. And that was a kept secret. For you could draw out anything at all in the world that you wanted as long as you remembered to put something, anything, back in. Well, he lived on very happily in this way for many days until he was called away to see his sister wed to a sheik in a faraway land. So he gathered his servants together and he said to them, "My servants, I must ride to a faraway land to see my sister wed to a sheik. I shall return, thank you. I shall return in 30 days' time, 1 month exactly. Guard well my kingdom, my castle, and my cupboard." And with those words, he rode off to the east. That very night, robbers crept into the castle. 3 robbers, 3 of the craftiest robbers. So crafty were they, in fact, that no one even knew their names. Yes, so we'll just call them 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3 crept in, past the huge iron gates, and the massive wooden doors, and the sleeping guards, into the throne room where sat the cupboard. 1 and 2 picked it up, and they carried it again past the guards and the gates and the doors, out into the forest, out to their lair. When they got it home safely in the cave, they set it down and began to laugh. Now we have the king's glass cupboard. We can have anything at all in the world that we want. What do we want? And the first one thought, I know. I want a big castle with turrets and flags and... No. I want a beautiful white horse with a fair maiden and... No. I know what I want. I want to be the richest in all the land. And so he opened the cupboard and drew out a huge sack of gold. Now I'm the richest, at least in this room. Oh, yeah? Oh, so you who's the richest? And he too, the second, went to the cupboard and drew out a huger sack of gold. Now on the richest. But the third, who was the leader and not to be beaten by these two, went to the cupboard himself and opened it. And drew out, I tell you. The hugest sack of gold I have seen in my life. Why, it was bulging at the seams. Gold was spilling out of the top. Now you see why I am your leader. Now you see why you've hired us. And those two others began to pull out sack after sack of gold. For hours, the moon was rising in the sky, and still they did not stop until the leader begged them to take to their beds and rest, for there would be plenty of time to become the richest men in the world. And so they all did go to their beds. But you know, the first one, he just couldn't sleep with all that gold out there and all the more that was in the cupboard. He just went out and pulled out one more little itty-bitty sack of gold. He would be the richest. So he did just that. In his stocking feet, he crept out. I'm the richest. But the second heard the cupboard opening. I'm the richest. But the leader didn't have to hear anything, for he knew what those other two would try. And he went out there with his big boots on, making all the noise he should care to. I am now the richest and your leader. Come, my friends, from your beds. It is obvious we shall not trust each other until we all are the richest in the world. The two others rushed out, and they began to pull out sack after sack of gold. They pulled out sack after sack of gold for hours, days, weeks. They didn't stop to sleep, eat, go to the bathroom, nothing. Think about that for a minute. They were very tired, very nearly at the end of their strength. They noticed that the whole cave was filled with gold. They decided to stop. They were now the richest men. On the count of three, the leader said, 1, 2, 3. And as they tried to stop, they found that they couldn't stop. They wouldn't stop. And the harder they tried to stop, the faster they had to pull out gold. Why, this cupboard had some sort of a spell on them. And they were already very nearly at the end of their strength, and this was going to kill them unless they thought of something, which the leader did just in time. He reached down and picked up a sack of gold and threw it. Broke that cupboard into a million tiny pieces. The three robbers turned and looked at each other over that broken cupboard. Their eyes popped out of their heads. They breathed their last breath and they died right there. Now 30 days had passed, exactly 1 month, and the king returned. And the wedding was glorious. Oh, all the people there. His sister was most beautiful, the sheik very handsome. All the people were in their finest garments, and you cannot begin to imagine the food. Every feast of fowl and right in the middle of his story, at the very height of his joy, one of his servants stopped him and told him what had happened. Nay, my servant, do not tell me such things, for that is my sole prized possession. You must search. Search the kingdom round. You must find my glass cupboard. Now, naturally, they had been searching, but they went out again in force, all of his people. And by and by, they found the cave. A huge pile of money and the dead robbers. The cupboard smashed. It took 60 carts to carry all of that gold back to the castle. And the servants picked up every last bit of glass, every last fragment, and carried it to the king. Of course, he was very sad to see his cupboard smashed and such. But he took that glass and gave it to his finest craftsmen and told them to construct for him a globe, a huge model of the world, with every country in the world represented on it. In 3 days' time, they had constructed a globe. When I saw it myself for the first time, I was truly amazed. It was magnificent. He had it set in the very center of the palace grounds as a reminder to all his people and to all who would see it. The earth is just as fragile and in just as many ways as that glass cupboard. We must remember, if we take something out of it, we should always put something back in. And that is the lesson of the glass cupboard and my tale for you this day. I thank you. What is it? What is it?
The pants!
What?
Give me your pants!
No, my
Take off your
pants!
pants now!
No, I shall not. I shall keep them on, please, good sir. Why, these pants are not good enough for you. Your legs are so wide and strong and sinewy. Why?
Back off!
Well, sir, all I am saying is that these would never fit you. You are so strong and manly.
I like this guy. You may go. I did leave the land of my fathers. It was aboard a boat, which I did not realize was peopled entirely by pirates. I did enjoy my time with them. At sea, it is a funny thing. Not so funny where I was, when men will sing in the rigging for no apparent reason. Sometimes this can be very unsettling to one as manly as myself. But in all my days since then and my wanderings across the trackless wastes of the Near East, I have never forgotten the sounds, oh, those sounds, of those damned flying fish sailors.
Hello, how are you?
You'll note that preparations have not been completed for my entire appearance here, but it has not been proven that she is mine. Perhaps, milady, if you would.
In front of you. We were hoping she would play.
Oh, thank you.
I like to carry a little extra weight. So, would you like to hear a song?
Indeed.
Ah, a request for something we know. And they are so few, the songs as well. What next, then?
Barney,
Ah, yes.
Oh,
Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone and let them quiet be. Judy leads me such a life. Oh, Judy leads me such a life. The devil never had such a wife. What can the matter be? Shall I sing a little song about Judy? Put the kettle on. She's barking at me all day long. What can the matter be? Make the toast and then we'll have our tea. Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone and let them quietly. Barney, rock the cradle, oh, why don't you rock the cradle, oh, or else you'll get the ladle, oh, and Judy comes to tea. Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone and let them quietly. Likes whiskey, oh, Judy, she likes whiskey, oh, and to my uncle's club we'll go before she takes her tea. Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone and let them quiet be. Barney, what will Barney do? Oh, Barney, what will Barney do? Barney will get fuzzy too and drink and sing God Bless the King in a cup of whiskey tea. Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone. Barney, leave the girls alone and let them quiet be. Oh. Barney hangs out by the docks in a purple shirt with striped socks. When he eats salmon, he calls it locks. What can the matter be? Barney, leave the boys alone. Barney, leave the boys alone. Barney, leave the boys alone and let them sailors be. Barney watches for the sails of ships coming home from hunting whales. He'll sit and watch those sailors' tails. What can the matter be? Barney, leave the boys alone. Barney, leave the boys alone. Barney, leave the boys alone and let them sailors be.
Mary Max. Mary Max.
Indeed, as we have traveled the lands, lords and me ladies, we have learned most curious music. The Scots, why, they have a very interesting style of music indeed.
There's a nice wee lass and her name's Mary Mac. Make no mistake, she's the miss I'm gonna take. There's a lot of other chaps that would get up on her track, but I'm thinking that I'll have to go up early. Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac, and I'm gonna marry Mary to get married and take care of me. We'll all be making Mary when I marry Mary Mac. That is side part. Join in. Now this wee lass, she has a lot of class. She has a lot of gas, and her mother thinks it's class, so it'd be a silly ass to let the matter pass. Her mother thinks she treats me fairly. Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac, and I'm gonna marry Mary to get married and to everything's arranged. Her name will soon be changed. Mine unless her mind be changed, and was making the arrangement. Faith I've been arranged, for marriage is an awful undertaking. There's a nice sweet lass and her name's Mary Mac. Make no mistake, she's the missus gonna take. There's a lot of other chaps that would get up on the track, but I'm thinking that they'll have to go early. Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac. And he's going to marry Mary to get married and to carry me. We'll all be making Mary when I marry Mary Mac. Now this sweet lass, she has a lot of gas. She has a lot of gas, and the father thinks I'm gas. So I'm silly ass, so let the matter pass. The father thinks me fairly. Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac. And I'm going to marry Mary to get married and to carry me. We'll all be making Mary when I marry Mary Mac. It's sure to be a grand affair, grander than a fair. A coach and preparation fair, never feather fair. Died upon the Spanish fair, it's good to get my share. If I don't, well, I'll be very much mistaken. Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac. And I'm going to marry Mary to get married and to carry me. We'll all be making Mary when I marry Mary Mac.
Chorus up the warp side stage by the racetrack.
It's a spawn, brothers.
It's a comedy, Teen.
No, c'est tout en avec tweets.
My name is Otto. Otto Bahn. This is my brother Gunther. And we are the King's Trabant. The King's Trabant. Well, you may be confused about who we are. We do know why we're here this evening. Yes, we are here to introduce the greatest hunter in all the realm, Harpy on the Hunt. Gunther, you are an embarrassment. What he means to say is we are here to introduce the world's greatest harpist, Honey on the Harp.
About miracles that the Virgin Mary was responsible for. So as we all know, we pray to the Virgin Mary and she answers all of our prayers, our needs, our desires. Can you say Santa Maria? Santa Maria! I see you've done it often. This song, Marcar Ome, is about the monk who loved iron. I don't know what he loved to do with the iron. It says there in the manuscript, and you can see the monk holding a big black box, in case you can't read the words. But one day, the monk decided he was going to swim across the river, because on the other side of the river, there was a convent where he had a special friend. Now we know when we sin, we usually get caught. If we're lucky, we get caught after we have sinned. Not so with our monk. While he was in the river, swimming across, the devil captured him and tried to drown him. But first he prayed to the Virgin, Santa Maria. Santa Maria! And naturally, she answered his call. She kept the monk alive underwater for 4 days while she argued with the devil for his life. And of course, she won this argument. So at the end of the 4 days, the monk was cast ashore on the banks of the river, where his brother monks were searching for his body, high and low in the water. He could have told them he was taking a bath in the water, maybe. They might not have believed that. I think he didn't say anything. So instead, they simply went into the church to praise the Virgin Mary.
pleasure to announce such an extraordinary man next. He is Wind and Wire.
of Gisborne. Ye.
I knew that.
And if I hear more of this, I will have upstanding citizens of Newmarket, such as these fellows. Loudell. Take care of you.
They are standing up.
Why don't you show him how they would do it?
No, I do not. I will simply tell you that, yes, I am sharing the stage with a woman once again.
Oh, McGee! How can we share the same stage? We are not even on the same stage, okay?
Oui.
Si.
Oui.
Si.
Oui, Catalina. We are here to introduce to you a musical group called Martin and Victoria Singer. Oui?
Si.
Oui, Catalina.
Si.
Oui!
Si?
Si, Catalina.
What do you mean, get back here?
Get back there, Victoria.
I don't want to be back here.
Now, you see, we've had a lot of trouble with ladies in the city, but here is one who knows her proper place. I'd like to introduce to you Victoria Singer.
It's really not so bad walking 3 paces behind. I've heard that his presence here in the last several weeks has rather stimulated some of the female members around here. Indeed, indeed. So I'd like to point out the advantages of walking 3 paces behind. First of all, turn about, Martin. We get to watch this lovely view. Martin, they don't agree with me. Oh, and the second is, he's just about the next length from here, so I can keep him in line. If I can get away anything, I bloody well please back here.
I'd like to do 2 songs for you. The first one is for some of our Scottish friends. The Scotsman playing. Ooh, okay, man.
Come way down there.
Way down there. Oh,
Way
we
down
have,
there for me.
we have to keep toning it down. When she put on her bodice, she dropped at least a tone and a half. The Scotsman riding to left the pub one evening fair. And one could tell by how he walked, he drunk more than his share. He stumbled around until he could no longer keep his feet. And he stumbled off inside the grass to sleep beside the street. Ring-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding
Do sing along if
Yes,
you know
of
it.
course, please. About that time, two young and lovely lasses to the other with a twinkle in her eye. See on sleeping Scotsman, such a strong and handsome build. I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath their kilt. Ring-ding-ding-ding-ding-I-O, ring-ding-ding-I-O. I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath their kilt. Crept upon that sleeping Scotsman quiet as could be. They lifted up his kilt about an inch so they could see. And there, behold, for them to view beneath the Scottish skirt was nothing more than God had graced him with upon his heart. Ring-ding-ding-I-O, ring-ding-ding-I-O. Was nothing more than God had graced him with upon his heart. They for a moment with one said we must have gone. Let's leave a present for our friend before we move along. For a gift they left a blue silk ribbon tied into a bow. Around the bonny star the Scotsman's gilded blue and shoe. Ring-ding-ding-ding-I-O, ring-ding-ding-I-O. Around the bonny star the Scotsman's gilded blue and shoe. Now the Scotsman moved to nature's calls and he stumbles toward the tree. Behind the bush he lifts his kilt and he gawks at what he sees. And in a startled voice he cries to what's before me eyes. I don't know where you've been, my lad, but I see you run the skies. Ring-ding-ding-I-O, ring-ding-ding-I-O. I don't know where you've been, my lad, but I see you run the skies. I need a small boon from the king.
Yes.
Being as that I'm a traveling minstrel, most generally I sing these songs in the streets for the commoners, you must understand me, Lord.
Yes.
So I must ask of you, if you would please, I know you are in good spirits after today's festivities, if you would grant me a small bit of license in the words that I choose to put into my songs, and not cut my head off.
You have lice?
Oh, no, I have no lice, just a small bit of license, a small bit of freedom.
Oh, yes, very well.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Huzzah!
Now we get the good stuff. King Henry has come to our city. He wants a new lady to wed. I'm sure it will dampen his efforts when they hear that the rest lost their head. They are rolling through dawn, how the patrons rolling through dawn, how the patrons rolling. Please sing the chorus with us. The witches are out on the corners. They'll sell you a small piece of sin.
Stand up.
Oh yes, there's a witch.
The kisses they sell for a shilling. You can buy all the rest for a fin.
Ah, how the patrons rolling. Huzzah, how the patrons rolling.
Where is he? Where'd he go?
Where is he? Oh, we don't see
he's
him.
left. Let me get him up here.
Where is he?
Constable!
The constable bellows and blusters. In the stocks he puts all our friends. He keeps him for lying and stealing, while at the pubs his purses they spin. The patrons rolling.
Duchess! Come here then.
Oh, the Duchess is here with her daughters. She hopes to keep one will wed. She thinks they are virgins and prophets, but they've already been to his bed. The patrons rolling.
There they are.
Oh, bottoms!
Where's your daughter? She says she's resting, oh well. The hot bottoms are here with their daughter. Oh, she's walking behind them now. It's sad to consider her future at the great risk of being a sound. By George, we have to stay sober. Not even a sniff of a cork. We'll remember this dry fare forever. 'Tis the first sober one we have won. Casey is our fearless leaper. He's taught us all that we know. He tells us if we're late for practice, then out on our asses we go.
David, you promised £100 and only left a quarter. That's all right. I had a plan to do a 400-verse version of the Ratlin Bog, but that was easy. I've been asked to introduce someone who needs no introduction, and at first I was flattered, and then it occurred to me that it was a rather awkward position. So, yes, it does. So I'd like to explain to you then a favor system that I have worked out, hopefully that will further my career and yours, and then perhaps next time I'll get to introduce someone who needs an introduction. And you might say, well, who needs a fool's favors? And you can ask the ladies of the court and they'll tell you. This is the beginner's version. This is for Will's Little Helpers. This is favors for honorary village idiots.
Yeah, like Trevor.
This is... Yes. This next one is honorary fool of the realm. And this has been given to only one person who sadly is not here, and that is Mistress Nevermind. This is for the fool's fool. I'm actually quite excited and nervous about introducing this person who needs no introduction. So I went to this person and asked him to teach me a spell that would hopefully deal with someone who's excited and nervous and take care of their excited and nervous condition. And this person who needs no introduction said to me, only use this if you're really excited and really nervous and you need to get out of a bad place. And there's a magic word that he taught me that makes this work, and I want you to say it with me, and we'll see if the spell works. And that word is ha-poo. Say it with me now. Ha-poo. And I studied at great length to learn that. That's actually Opa said backwards. So let's see if it works now, and we can get on with this introduction that doesn't need to be made. On three. 1, 2, 3. Ha-hoo! That didn't do it. Didn't do it. I'm still excited and nervous. Let's try it again. On 3, this time, give it all you've got. 1, 2, 3. Ha-hoo! That did it. I'm no longer excited. Now introducing to you a gentleman who has been performing at this festival since its inception, the only last remaining performer from the first season. A gentleman who is returned now from a very successful tour of Bavaria, Austria, and Germany. Please welcome the one, the only, the Merlin the Magnificent!
My name is Merlin. I am a magician, and today I'm going to magish for you.
Ooh,
You should be glad I'm not a wizard. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do today is not a magic trick. Instead, it's an explanation, and in fact, it's not even my own explanation, but it was taught to me by my friend Markham the Mountebank, who will be coming down here in a couple of weeks. And he will tell you the whole thing, but I felt compelled when I saw the king's new trousers to explain the whole story, for everyone had heard that stupid explanation by Hans Christian Andersen, and he got it wrong. So I wanted to explain the whole thing to you now. It all started with a piece of purple cloth about the size of this, the same type of fabric, only it was the royal purple. The king has the royal purple ones now. Two weavers came in with a load of imported silk from the Orient. And they said, Your Majesty, here is the most beautiful, the finest cloth in all the realm. And they showed him this little piece of silk made from enchanted silkworms, fed only from the finest mulberry tree leaves. He was ecstatic. He felt the cloth. He said, "Oh, that's most marvelous. I must have trousers made of that." They looked at the cloth, and begging Your Majesty's pardon, they looked at His Majesty. They looked at the cloth, they looked at His Majesty, and they said, "Your Majesty, this is all we have." Well, His Majesty was really perturbed about that and said, "This is not good. I will have a suit of that fine, fine silk." So they said, "Oh, what to do?" Which is a silk merchant's phrase for, "We don't have any more of the nice purple stuff." Then they remembered what the Chinese fellow who had sold it to them said, that under the right conditions, it could fit anyone. So they stuffed it into a very small spot, like this. And they held it very, very fast. And they kept it completely free of light. Then they sprinkled a little extra magic powder on it, like this. And the next morning when they got up, they found that they had 6 yards of it. It had stretched until it was a full 2 yards wide and 3 yards high and hung all the way down to the floor. However, it was so thin that you could see right through it. And that's the rest of the story. And thank Markham for that. He'll be around. Now, I need to borrow this young lady for a moment.
Oh, c'est one with the pretty teeth.
Your name? Melanie, nice to have you here. How old are you, Melanie? 11. Would you like to be 12 one day? Good, have a seat. Have you ever seen my program before? Oh, you're in for a real treat. Have you ever seen the piece of magic where the magician places the box on the young lady's head and he takes a bunch of big, ugly, razor-sharp, metal-tipped hunting arrows and he runs them right through? You will notice that these razor-sharp, metal-tipped hunting arrows have metal barbs on the end, so as they enter Melanie, they cannot be extracted, without also drawing out large gobbets of flesh and most likely badly needed brain tissue. Would you like to do that one, Melanie?
Polite lady. Very polite young.
No, thank you.
Come. Here we go. Have you ever seen the one where the magician places the lady on the table and he saws her in half with a razor-sharp cross-cut saw? No! Rats, I never get to do the fun tricks like that David Copperfield fellow. What's he got that I haven't got? Just a good writer, Charles Dickens. I have another. Wait, come right over here. Have you ever seen the one where the magician places the lady on the table and he makes her float in the air? Yes, Merlin, that's my very favorite trick. Would you like to do that one? Yes, I was hoping you would ask. Oh, good, I'm glad I found it. There's not much to it. It's just a board sitting on top of a couple of boxes. They're not fastened together in any way, but they're fairly sturdy in a primitive fashion. Please, Melanie, watch your step. Here you go, have your hand. Have a seat right there. Sit down on the board. Lie down on your back with your head toward me. If you're built right, that'll put your feet down there toward down just a tiny. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Good. That saves so much time in case of a malfunction or something. Next, we're going to wrap you in swaddling clothes. Have you ever been swaddled before? Oh, you're in for a real thrill. Here we go. Swaddle. Sorry. My lords and ladies, that which you are about to witness will be accomplished entirely through Melanie's mental powers. Judging from the chuckles coming down here from her family, we may be in a heap of trouble. Melanie, close your eyes. Make your mind a total blank. A gifted child. You're so fortunate. Concentrate on the spot in the center of your forehead. My lords and ladies, in some primitive cultures, the spot in the center of the forehead is called the third eye, and to it are attributed bizarre mental powers beyond human comprehension. In other primitive cultures, it is called the spot in the center of the forehead, and no one particularly cares about it. This just goes to show you that some primitive cultures, such as Nepal, have much more vivid imaginations than other primitive cultures, such as Plantersville. Melanie, close your eyes, concentrate on your third eye, and most importantly, wipe that stupid grin off your face. I want you to imagine that you feel a giant hand lifting you up about 1/4 of an inch. Can you feel it? She feels it. She's out of her mind. Once she feels it, then we can do this. Let's have a little magic music of the Elfa Zoo. Wait a moment. A little floating music, please. Keep playing. There we go. Whatever you do, keep playing. Don't falter even for a moment in your belief that you're actually floating. Otherwise, you'll fall flat on your back. I've got her. It's all right. Hurry. She's sinking fast. Smile. Hold still. Wake up. Sit up. Give me your left hand. Oh, this left hand. There. Swing your feet down. Take that in your other hand. Step forward and take a big bow to a thunderous sound.
Thank you.